Hello everybody, I am ShadeOfDead, and this is the 2500 subscriber special. I asked you guys to ask me some questions, and so I'm going to read those questions and answer them. And this is me. Some people have asked for a face cam, so this is me. You can see my room. You can't really see it. There's my Nuka-Cola girl. Oh, Nuka-Cola girl. There's Minecraft sword. There's that's from BioShock. I'm gonna get it right. It's backwards what I think it should be. I'm looking at the video myself. Over here we got the got stuff that belongs to my wife. Well, the Snoopies are mine, but the rest of it is hers. This is where I sit. This is where I do it. In my bedroom. See, question number one, I guess. Let me look down the list here. We've got Planetfall 666. Ever played or considered doing a series on Factorio? Well, I've never played it. So, I don't know. At this point, I'm willing to consider just about anything. So, the main thing is, I'm trying to do 5. Whoa. Shouldn't move so much. Trying to do 5 games. We've got Particle Fleet, we've got Creeper World, we've got Dungeon Keeper, we've got Stellaris, and Rimworld, which I'm not doing a very good job on, and I apologize for that. I need to do better on Rimworld. It's just finding the time to get all of these videos made is not as easy as it might seem. So I do apologize for that. But would I consider it? Yeah, I would consider it. But I haven't played it yet, so I need to look at it a little bit closer. Ski Build wants to know, what do you do when you're not making vids? Well, playing video games, taking care of my kids. Yeah, I mean that's I guess my fun time is video games. So when I'm not making vids, I'm usually trying to play something else, looking at new things, working on getting stuff for my YouTube channel. I've got a couple of games that are not out yet, but they are coming that I am trying to get, or that I have gotten permission from the developers to have, maybe a pre-release or something like that, a preview build, so that I can share that with you guys. They are, well, should I say what they are? One of them's Oxygen Not Included. Okay. I'm really interested in that one. That one's going to be a lot of fun, to be honest. I don't know if you guys have looked at it. They don't have a whole lot out. The developers have put out some videos. It's been at PAX and some things like that, but there's not a tremendous out about it. It's kind of the basic is you are some people. Population has gotten too big, so they're trying to colonize other places, specifically like asteroids, and so they teleport you and your people to the middle of this asteroid. It's kind of a goofy game. You get power by having a giant hamster wheel and having your people run in it. But you get to this asteroid and you have to figure out how to get the oxygen and stuff. I mean, you start with there's some rocks that emit oxygen, but you have to manage the oxygen, the CO2 levels, you have to manage food and water and all that kind of stuff. So you have to worry about, when you're digging sand, and it's, go check it out. Go check out their place, or whatever you want to call it. Their website is by Klei Entertainment, KLEI. And they have, like I said, if you search for Oxygen Not Included, you should find some. They've got at least one video that they've put up that is a stream that they did, kind of showcasing a little bit of it. It's not out yet. Let's see, what is the release date on that? I don't remember. I think it's early next year, I believe. Yeah, I believe that's true. The other one is The Long Journey Home, which is it's a basically humans have figured out how to do faster than light travel, but something goes wrong when we do it the first time, and the ship that we send goes way further than it should. And so you have to try to get home. And it's kind of an RPG type thing. You choose your crew. You can only have I think it's 4 people, but there's several people you can pick from. And then you have to choose who you want on your crew. They have different abilities and skills, and then get through all this stuff. It kind of looks like it's kind of like a top-down. You have one ship. It's kind of top-down, and you do exploring. You meet other aliens, and I don't know. It looks really good. It looks like a lot of fun. So you can check that out too. The Long Journey Home. They've got some pre-release builds and stuff like that, or not builds, but videos that you can take a look at. So, but I guess when I'm not making videos, taking care of my kids, I am playing other video games, seeing if I like them, seeing if they are something that I want to put on the channel, or I'm just playing them for me. I found that I like making the videos, I really do, but it is a stressor. I keep shaking my desk, I apologize. It's kind of a stressor. If I do too much, I'll burn out on a game, or just doing it in general. So if I take some time and I do some stuff for me, I have my own Stellaris playthrough that I'm trying to get through, which is very hard. And maybe I'll do something similar to that on the channel as well. But I do things for me. I'm trying to get decent at From the Depths, to maybe do some videos on that. The only issue with that game is that it takes a lot of time to do things, to accomplish things, and that there's a lot of building, and it's more, not that I don't enjoy it, it's just that there's a ton more work that I would have to do for every video than the other games that we're doing right now. So that's definitely something that I may do, but it's going to be something that I have to decide how I want to do it. Do I already want to have the ships designed, my fleet designed, so that when I go to do the playthrough, I can just go, and here's the new thing that we're going to use now. If that's the case, then hey, no big deal. But if I'm going to design everything on the channel, I really need to become pretty good at designing. So, and I'm not. I'm pretty terrible at it, actually. I haven't quite grasped it. I can't get. I'm having a real trial with Thrustercraft. I don't know if you guys, if you go to the Knucklecracker forums, I put up a few pictures of some things I built. A lathe from Particle Fleet in From the Depths, and I've tried to make a destroyer, and they're not good. They're pretty bad. They tend to crash a lot. I could probably make them into boats, and I did make a lathe boat, but just on the water. But it's not great. And I made a Joven too, and it's not Joven. The Joven ship is not shaped to be a good water vessel at all. So, but I made it work. Yeah, kinda. Maybe I'll show once I've kind of gotten a better grasp of that part of it. I kind of do want to show off the Particle Fleet ships that I designed in From the Depths in a video or so. I may do that. So my top 10 games. That's rough. I don't know that I can put them in an order. I think I could tell you what my top 10 games are, but I don't think I can say number 10, number 9, number 8, number 7, number 6, number 5. So let me see if I can think of this in no particular order now. Dungeon Keeper. That one I can say is probably in the top 3 of all time. Dungeon Keeper. Fallout New Vegas. That would be for sure. Fallout New Vegas with mods is what I should say. The basic Fallout New Vegas is good, don't get me wrong, but with the mods it becomes such a great game. It's not even funny. So Dungeon Keeper, Fallout New Vegas, probably FTL. Spent a lot of time in that. Civ 5. Which might be a weird choice. Some people might say Civ 4, Civ whatever. Civ 5 with all the expansions. Without the expansions, it's kind of not good. Civ 6, it has some issues that I'm not real thrilled with. I think Stellaris is better than Civ 6. But Civ 5, I have to put it on there for the number of hours I put into it. I don't know, how many is that? Dungeon Keeper. Not Stellaris. Dungeon Keeper, Fallout New Vegas, Civ 5. I don't know if I forgot one I've already. Oh, FTL. So there's 4. Got to keep track. I'd have to look. Just kind of thinking all time. The gold box games from long ago, the D&D gold box games, Secret of the Silver Blades, Pool of Radiance, Curse of the Azure Bonds. Like I'm going to include those as one of them, instead of 3 separate ones. But like that series, those games, all of those, those were the games that I really got into gaming with, and man, I played those. I had a computer. My first real, well, I guess my first computer that I owned was a 386. It was an 8088, which some of you may know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you can look it up. I'm not going to explain it all. It would take too long. But an 8088 that was upgraded to a 386. It had a massive 12 megabytes of RAM, 100 megabyte hard drive with a backup 10 megabyte hard drive, 2 5 1/4 floppies, and I had 2 monitors. I was the coolest kid in town because I had 2 monitors. One of them was a monochrome, black and green, and the other one was beautiful CGA color, all 4 colors in CGA. Had 4 different colors. It was great. It was the best. It was terrible, but hey, it was what we had at the time. It took approximately 34.5 minutes to boot up when I turned it on. It sounded exactly like an airplane warming up its engines on the tarmac, and could increase the temperature of the room that you were in by approximately 20 degrees within the first hour. So it was something that you played in shorts and a t-shirt even in the winter, because it would get very warm in that. Had this big massive keyboard that weighed about, I don't know, probably 7 or 8 pounds. It was mostly steel, and when you typed on it, it would make this wonderful ka-chunk, ka-clack, ka-chunk noise that I kind of miss. I mean, it wouldn't be great for making videos because all you guys would hear is ka-chunk, ka-clack, but I kind of miss it. But yeah, that was my first computer. So that's the gold box games. That was number 5, or like I said, no particular order. Man, you're making this hard on me. I have to pick 10. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look at a list that I have here of some things that I might consider. I'm probably gonna say I'm gonna lump the Left 4 Dead series together. Spent a lot of hours in those. Really enjoyed them. They were great. I'm gonna have to say and we're doing of all time, not like current time. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing of all time. Which ones do I look back on and go, yeah, man, that was one of the games that I just loved the most. I'm gonna say Fallout 2. I'm gonna include on here as something different. Yeah, Fallout 2. We'll throw Fallout 1 in that with that too. I've been grouping games, so Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. Hundreds of hours that I've spent on those, playing through them, just enjoying that world so much. Dark Souls, Dark Souls 1. The whole Dark Souls series. We'll throw that in there. What does that make? 7, I think. I'm gonna have to say Half-Life. It was such a a game changer when it came to video games because of the silent protagonist that still told a story. It was amazing. It was the first game to ever do that in a time when stories for video games were still like Doom. You're a space marine. You woke up. There are demons. Go. And that's it. And you don't know what you're doing. You just plunk from one part of the station to the next, and you just kill everything and find the keys and move on. I mean, there was no real story. And then, they were all pretty much like that. And then Half-Life came, and it changed gaming, which is why it's so sad that Half-Life 3 probably is never going to happen. My opinion on Half-Life 3 is that if they made Half-Life 3, it would be a disappointment no matter what they did. There's no way that they can meet the build-up that people have felt for it. People loved Half-Life. People love Half-Life 2, the episodes 1 and 2. We never got an episode 3. I don't know that we'll ever get a Half-Life 3. I really don't. What I would say is if people really want a Half-Life 3, somebody needs to make it. Somebody needs to take the time and really put in the work to make it a good Half-Life game. And kind of finish up the story of Half-Life 2, which we have some ideas of what's going on. We know what they're going to do. We have a good idea of where they're going. We just need to finish that story, and I don't think Valve's going to ever do it. It's surprising to me that Valve even makes games anymore. They can make way more money selling other people's games than they can make selling their own. They don't even sell their own for the most part. Most of their games that they make are not. They're not to make money. They're to see if something different will make money. Dota 2 is an example of that. The game's free, but then you can get the keys, pay for the keys to unlock the chests. I don't know. I don't play Dota 2. I haven't played a MOBA since Warcraft 3, when I played not Dota, but I think it was Ties of Blood was the one I liked. Some of you may remember that. I don't know. I think it was called Ties of Blood. Something about blood. That was the one I played all the time. I played it a lot. But yeah, so Half-Life. That makes 8, I think. I may be way off. You guys can tell me, I'm sure, in the comments. I'm going to say Skyrim. With mods. Skyrim with mods is amazing. It's a great world. It's very well done. It's how I wish Fallout 4 was more, insofar as I can ignore the main storyline. There's no one being super annoying with the Radiant quests. The Radiant quests were there. You could ask for, you ask the innkeepers, or you go to the Jarl, and usually his right-hand man or whoever it is, and you ask them if there's anything they need help with, and they're like, yeah, we found some bandits and there's some stuff here you need to go take care of, and then you go take care of it if you want. But there's nothing that makes you actually have to follow the main storyline. Really, I think a lot of people just do. For the most part, people, you don't ever have to even get your Dragonborn powers, one. And the rest of that never happens. Like, the dragon escalation and stuff never really happens unless you actually go and kill that first dragon. And then I think a lot of people do that just so they can have the Dragonborn powers, so they start getting the souls. Dragons do show up sometimes, and you can find the dragons, you know, at different places on the map. But I think, and this is based on absolutely nothing other than my experience and what some anecdotal information that I've received from other people, I don't think people play Skyrim for the main story. And I would never play Fallout 4 for the main story because I think it's terrible. But I'm not going to go on that rant again. Skyrim, that's number 9. The last one that I want to put on here. I'm trying to decide how far back I should go. I'm mostly sticking to PC gaming. What have I played a ton of that I just keep going back to? You know, I don't know. Number 10 is such a... Finishing that list is really hard because then I've said it. And I can't change it. I mean, I can change it if I really want to, but I feel like I have to stick with that. I think I'm going to make number 10 whatever game I'm enjoying the most at that moment. So, whatever that happens to be. It's hard. It's hard to make that list for me, and to definitively say that's my list. I mean, there's way more than 10 games already on the list, so you'll have to be happy with that, I guess. And the number 10 slot that goes in there is whatever I'm enjoying the most at the moment, and that's what it should be. That's what your list should be. You know, I could say something like Doom because it was like the real beginning of first-person shooter. It wasn't the first first-person shooter at all, but it was definitely it was the one that brought people to first-person shooters. It was the one that everybody was like passing around on floppy disks and saying, "Have you seen this game? Check this out." And I mean, I could say a bunch of things like that. There's a bunch of games that are like that, you know. But yeah, I'll leave number 10 at whatever I'm enjoying the most at the moment. I'm not going to even say right now. If I had to say that, the game I just got done playing was Stellaris. But 15 minutes after this video, I may play Fallout 4 Frost mod and say that's the one that I enjoy the most at the moment. So it's a real, man, that's hard. Top 10. Your pants are too tight. Yeah, I know. Why didn't I make a 2K sub video? I mean, that wasn't actually a question. Manu Winter kind of asked, hey, you didn't make one. That's because 2,000 subscribers happened like a week and a half after 1,000 subscribers. And I was like, I don't even know what to do. And so I decided that I would wait for 2,500. We go 1,000. That was 1,000 subscribers. Then we go 2,500. That's 1,500 more. And then we'll go 5,000. Will probably be the next one. That'll be 2,500 more. And we'll go from there. We'll figure that out. What kind of computer do I have? A PC? No. It is a AMD. It's all AMD. So it's an AMD oh my god, 9590, 9570, 9570 CPU, which is the kind of biggest one that AMD makes. It actually is, what do I want to say? It's the, I'm going to get it wrong, 8530, I think, that's been factory overclocked. As such, it's kind of a pain because it runs super hot. It can pull up to 200 watts on a chip. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, this thing idles at 40, and a lot of them, there's a lot of other chips that are like at the hottest temperature they get to 30. So it's a warm chip. I have a Radeon 290X video card, and I have a gigabyte motherboard. I mean, that's what I have. You know, if you want top of the line and you've got the money to spend it, go Intel, buy everything you need. I decided to get the best I could with AMD, and I don't really regret it. I've had fits where I've had to fight with it. Most recently, just before I reached 1,000 subscribers, I had a little battle with it where it just kept crashing. It just kept shutting off. Could not figure out why. Tried everything. Wiped the hard drive. Reinstalled Windows 7. Still have Windows 7 in. And all this stuff. Talked to Microsoft. I did all these things to try to fix it. And it turned out the problem was my power supply. Not my power supply in my computer. My surge protector. My surge protector had gone bad, and that's what was causing the problems. I replaced my surge protector, and it runs fine now. Talk about just losing your mind trying to figure out what's wrong with your computer, thinking you're going to scrap the whole thing. The motherboard must be fried. The chip must be fried. Not having any clue what could possibly be wrong with it, and it just turns out to be that. So, if you guys are having troubles with your computer and it's just shutting off for no good reason, maybe try swapping out the old surge protector if it's been there for a while. Well, we'll do it anyway and just see if that makes a difference, because that's what solved it for me. I bought a new one, and that was it. That was from Dracos. I'm probably going to pronounce some of these names wrong, and I apologize. So I'm going to pronounce them as best I can. But Wilfon, what is? Oh, he's got two questions. One, he or she, I don't know. What is the limit to how much grind you can take on a scale from 1 to 10, where Blightfall is 5? Ooh, Minecraft Blightfall. And you're saying that's a 5? I'm going to assume you mean not the end of Blightfall. The last part of that mod is one of the most tedious things I have ever had the displeasure of doing. And I was so bored doing it, I didn't even record myself doing it. I recorded myself showing how it was done. When I first started doing it, I did a few little episodes showing that, and then I was just and I'm done, because that was the only way to get it done. Oh my god, that was the worst. How much grind can I take? I would not call, I'll say Blightfall before the end, before the last part, before you cleanse the world of the taint. I'll say that's a 5. Okay. But when you get to that part, that's probably a 10. That's a 9 or 9.5, 10, somewhere in there. How much grind can I take? It's hard for me to give that a number. I think what I can say is, once I stop having fun, once the game stops rewarding me in any way, shape, or form for the work that I'm doing, that's when the grind becomes too much. When I play we'll go back to Minecraft, Minecraft Regrowth. That game's really good for quite some time. I don't mind it because you have a little bit of a grind, a little bit of a struggle, and then you get to the next thing, and suddenly you have this thing open up to you, and you can do a whole bunch of stuff with it. And then you go back to doing a little bit of grind with the stuff, new stuff that you've got, and you go do a little bit of grind, a little bit, a little bit of work, and then you break through into this another new thing, and then suddenly, you get rewarded basically for doing that grind. You need to have a reward system. It can't just be the grind. That's the thing that I don't enjoy. I don't enjoy doing the grind. I enjoy getting my reward when the grind is done. And Minecraft, don't tell me I need to grow 60,000 carrots. I'm not gonna. I might not even take the time to cheat that in. I'm not going to grow 60,000 carrots. I'm not going to make 10,000 blocks of snow. I'm not going to, make 15,000 blocks of clay. I'm not doing that stuff. It's terribly boring, and usually the reward is not worth it. Definitely not worth my time. I guess this should be another one of my rules of gaming, is a game needs to respect my time. And if it doesn't, then it's not a game for me. I do have a limited amount of time. There are things that I have to do. I have responsibilities. I'm an adult, and I can't just spend 40 hours playing a game that's not going to help me. It's not going to reward me for it. That I don't feel is rewarding. And it's something that I think if we talk about Minecraft mods, which is what I started the channel on, was Minecraft. But when we talk about Minecraft mods, one of the things that I think, there's a couple things that happens with those mods, and one of them is the authors of the mod packs do a really great job in the beginning. I think they're fresh. I think they're energetic. I think they're motivated to make the best they can, and the beginning of those mods is great. The problem comes as you reach towards the end of the mod, as they keep trying to escalate. I think they need to do one of two things. End the mod before they think they should, because it eventually reaches a point where it becomes a grind. It becomes uninteresting. It becomes like, really? This? Really? And then the end falls apart and it isn't fun. At least to me. So maybe dial it back. Or, two, don't try to rush it. Like, I've considered making a Minecraft mod pack myself. I want to do something like a spiritual type sequel to Crash Landing. But that's something that I'm not going to be like, well, I'm going to have that done in 6 months. No, it'll be done when it's done. If I do it, it's going to be mod or version 1.10 of Minecraft, and it'll be done when it's done, because I want to make it good. And if I just push and push and push, I'm going to run into the same problem that they have, where it becomes uninteresting, where I'm just like, I don't know, slap some crazy quests in there, it's done now. No, I don't want to do that. So it's a struggle. It's really hard to make a AAA experience for Minecraft mod packs, which totally can happen when you're just one person or a couple, 2, 3 people. Because when they make a AAA game, there's certain people that are in charge of certain things. So you don't have everybody. It doesn't all fall on one person or 2 or 3 people. Now, there are some indie games that do that, but none of them are usually... They're going to make money out of it, for one thing. If you make a Minecraft mod pack, you don't make any money. You're not. So... there's a different kind of motivation that goes into making an indie game with 4 or 5 people than there is making a Minecraft mod pack. It's more of a hobby. So if it's going to be your hobby, if you're going to do that, I offer the suggestion. I can't even call it advice because I haven't finished one yet. Don't make sure you're rewarding the player for the work that they're putting in. 1, 2. Don't do the guess what the developer is thinking thing that even indie developers fall into. I don't want to have to try to guess what you're thinking. Okay, make it something that I can figure out. Okay, don't make me have to figure out how to do something really weird. I'd give an example, but it'd take too long. Just don't make me play guess what I'm thinking. Don't do that. That's terrible. And also, just take your time with it. There's no rush. As much as there are rabid fans that want to see something right away, if it's not good, that's going to make you lose people for anything you try to do in the future. You're better off taking it slow and making it good, particularly the end game, than not. And don't make combat in Minecraft important, because Minecraft combat is terrible. It's bad. It's tacked on. It's not good. 2, how can you pump out so many episodes so fast? Because how? I don't know. I just can. I don't think anybody can't. I guess it depends on what you have to put into the videos. And right now, the games that I'm playing require simply that I play them. There's no off-screen time, really. Maybe picking out a map or two in Particle Fleet, or reminding myself about what's coming up in Dungeon Keeper, or something like that. The games that I'm playing right now don't require me to do any off-camera stuff. Minecraft does. When I did that, like I said, From the Depths would require me to do off-camera stuff unless I have it prepared before I even start. I don't know how interesting that would be for me to go, okay, and here we're starting. Here's our first ships that we're gonna have. These 3 ships. Here's how I made them, and now we're gonna go kill everybody. All right, we've defeated the first group, and now I know that we're gonna go after this group next, and these are the ships I made to counter what they do. I don't know how much fun that would be. But something that takes a lot of time off camera is not the best, in my opinion. And it's just kind of a balance. I can record the videos in a few hours when I have time, when the kids are still at school. I can edit them anytime. I can always edit. So that doesn't actually take that long on these videos. I'm not doing a tremendous number of cuts. So it all depends on what game I'm playing. So if I did From the Depths, instead of it being 3 episodes on the day that From the Depths comes out, it might be 1 or 2. Yeah. That's how I do it. I guess right now I'm lucky enough to be doing games that don't require a lot of off-camera work. I can just jump in and play. And honestly, I've found I really prefer that a lot. So I may try to keep to that, unless I just find something really, really interesting. From the Depths is really, really interesting, but it keeps changing. So I may wait until they've finally decided to take it out of alpha, because it's been in alpha forever. And I guess I'll go off on a side thing. There's a lot of indie developers that release their games in an alpha state. And I think maybe the reason they do that is because it's not complete. They're not happy with it yet. And if they say, here it is released, but we're going to make changes going forward, they often receive a lot of flack saying, this isn't a complete game, it's not done, they should do this, they should do that. And I see that all the time, like on Steam Greenlight, which makes me happy to see a developer, Stellaris is not finished. They're not done with it. They are going to do more. They've released patches that have completely changed the game. They've talked about the next one that they're going to release that's going to change the game. So it's not a complete game, but nobody complains about it because what they did make and release is awesome. Oh, I'm gonna get a drink. My Darth Vader cup. I don't know if you can see it. There, Darth Vader. There he is. He's got my water in it. Drinking it out of his skull. It's good stuff. That's how I pump them out so fast. That was Wilfin. Orion7767 says, any chance you'd consider doing a Brutal Doom Let's Play? I'm assuming you're talking about the Brutal Doom mod for the original Doom. That kind of just goes, this is the original Doom, but we're going to add in all the cool combat stuff from the new Doom. The most recent Doom from Bethesda. Yeah, I would consider it, absolutely. I mean, I've got a big list of stuff that I do want to do. I just can't do all of it. I suppose if I had more time, I would do tons and tons of stuff. Maybe that would be something that I might stream whenever I do stream. The struggle is streaming at a time when people could watch, when I don't have screaming children in the house. It's pretty hard to do. Look out, it's moving. It's moving. It's my wife. Let's see. Next question. Leah, can you stream and maybe record some FTD from the depths? All right, I've talked about From the Depths, so I've already answered that a little bit. Can I stream? Yeah, I can. Absolutely, I can. I've done a little bit on Twitch in the past, but it's hard. It's hard for me to come figure out a time when I shouldn't be instead taking care of my kids, because I can edit a video in 5 minutes, and then I can set it to render, and then I walk away, and I don't have to touch it for an hour because it's rendering the video, or well, it's probably depends on how long the video is, but I can walk away and I don't have to worry about it. I can upload them without having to worry about it. I just set it up. It takes 2-3 minutes. Get everything copy pasted, put in there, put the title in, and walk away. But streaming is, I have to sit down here, and that's all I can do. And if I have to deal with my kids fighting or scraped knee or things like that, I've got to be like, well, I got to go. Hold on, and stop the stream for random things. So yeah, I could do streaming, but they're going to have to be at times when I can do it uninterrupted, and that's not always easy for me to accomplish. Jezebel Void Shadow. I like that name, Jezebel. That's funny. Question. If in Rimworld the cat's dogs could hunt, but the cat brought back what it kills, where the dog would just eat it or leave it there, would you think that would be a good balance to dogs being able to haul and cats do nothing? This would be something cats do just on their own, but you'd have to train the dogs to do it just like the hauling. Yes, I think that would be great, because as it is, cats are completely useless in Rimworld. If you've been watching my Rimworld series, I I killed the cat. Well, the problem is that you get a pet, and if you start with a cat, it's just a drain on your resources. All it does is eat your food. Every once in a while, it'll go out and kill something for itself. It'll kill a rat. Maybe I think that's about all it kills. I don't think it'll even kill like squirrels and rabbits. Hares, I guess they are. And they're just a drain. And if anything, the Prepare Carefully mod, I've used it mainly just to make sure I got some decent animals, whatever they happen to be, something that would be useful. I'm not going to say all the dogs are great. I mean, the Pomeranian ones, the little mop dogs, whatever they're called, like they're pretty useless too. You can train them to attack, which no thank you. No thank you. They're just gonna die, and then everybody's gonna be unhappy. But give me a good Muffalo, give me a good Labrador or Warg, or oh my gosh, an elephant. Give me something useful. Give me cows. Just straight cows I would rather have than a cat. But yes, if the cats would go out and actually hunt squirrels and hares and rats, things a cat could kill, and would drag them back and stick them in your shoes like cats do now. In real life, they kill a mouse and they put it in your shoe as a gift to you. If they would do that, then I'd be okay with having a cat, because it'd just be extra food we would get every once in a while. If they don't do that, I'd much rather have a dog. I'd much rather have a pig. Well, 2 pigs, so I can breed them and eat bacon. So there you go. And Christopher Paxer, what made you start this channel? I wanted it. I wanted to do it. I wanted a channel. I wanted a YouTube channel. I enjoyed YouTube. I thought I could do it. I decided I'm playing video games anyway. I talk to myself when I do it anyway. So I may as well talk to myself and pretend I'm talking to other people at the same time. I mean, I am talking to you. It's just you're not here when I'm doing it, if that makes sense. So I sit at my computer, much like I am right now, and I talk to myself, pretending I'm having a conversation with someone else. When it's not, it's kind of something surreal is happening. Yes, that is in fact true. It's kind of surreal, but I wanted it, and I said, there's no reason I shouldn't. I had a computer that could do it. And I just started. I mean, I hate suggesting. I don't want to suggest you do this. You don't have to do it. You can just take my word for it. But if you go back and look at my Blightfall playlist and go watch my first videos, they're terrible. I am ashamed of them. I would delete them, but I would feel bad for doing that, because it gives me something I can go back to and look at and go, wow, how did I... Whoa. And just, I don't know, it's what, 50-something, 60-something episodes long? Just go in there and watch like every 10th episode. Watch the first one, watch the 10th one, 20th, 30th, 40th, 50th. Just do that, and you'll see just how much I improved over that time. And then I've tried to become better all the time, and I don't know that I have. There are other times when I've been like, that wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. So that's what it is. Just I wanted to. And if you think you want to do YouTube, this is the thing. If you're going to do YouTube, don't do it because you want to make money at it, because you're probably not. there's way more failed channels than channels that have even become as successful as mine has. And that's not because it goes back to the whole thing of, it's not for everybody. It is time consuming. It is something you have to commit to. You need to constantly be pushing to get it done. So if you're going to do it, do it. If you decide it's not for you, stop. Again, if you're not having fun, do something else or make it fun. Yeah. I just wanted to. It just felt like the right thing to do. I mean, like I said, I talk to myself when I play video games. If not out loud, in my head, I do. So, let's see. Manu Winner also asks, what's your favorite movie? Oh, what's your favorite hobby? Well, that one's easy. Video games. That's my favorite hobby. What's my favorite movie? Can I give you a few? And you can kind of guess from there, like what my tastes are. Let me think a second. Okay. My favorite movies are movies that are really fun and are things that I'm interested in. Big shocker, sci-fi movies, the Marvel movies, the DC ones, not so much, but that's because I don't think they've been really great movies. Suicide Squad was pretty good. The Superman one didn't feel like Superman. The Batman versus Superman one, I'm not going to get into the whole, well, that's not what the comics did. I know it's not what the comics did. They're not going to do what the comics did. They haven't with pretty much any of the DC movies. I thought it was interesting that they had that little link to, oh God, it was The Last Laugh, the final joke, whatever it was. I think it was The Last Laugh. I've forgotten now. My brain shut down. I know what it is, but I can't think it. I think it's Last Laugh, where the Joker kills Robin with a crowbar. If you didn't know, that's why it said, haha, on the Robin suit in that movie. I guess spoiler. Sorry. But my favorite movie, the one that I would want to sit down with, I'm going to treat this like the Desert Island thing. What movie would I want to sit down with if I could only have one movie to watch forever? As much, there's some movies that I think that are really great that I wouldn't want to watch over and over again. Usual Suspects is an amazing movie. It is the best the very first time you watch it. It's good after that, but the first time you watch it, it's amazing. Especially if you don't see it coming, and I don't think most people do see the twist coming in that movie. Fight Club's good. That's a good repeat movie. I used to put that on and let it play as background noise when I was going to sleep for a long time. I did it in the Marine Corps for a long time. But I would say something like The Princess Bride or Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one, or something that would be... It's fun, and it's always fun to watch. It's always interesting to watch that movie. That's what I would pick. That's really... I have a real hard time saying what my favorite something is, because sometimes it can change. And, what do I base that on? How I feel right now? How I felt in the past? How do I compare, 16-year-old me to, 20-year-old me or 30-year-old me. My tastes change. That's why that video game list was really hard. But I don't know if I answered the question, but that's the answer I'm giving. True Verdith asks, ever felt like you need a 58-hour day? That's kind of a random number to put out there. 58 hours? Trying to think what that means. Was that 2.5 days? Something like that. Do I ever feel like I need a 58-hour day? Yeah, I do. I wish I had a 58-hour day. I mean, if I had to pick one artifact of power from all of fiction, besides a Star Destroyer, I would pick like a magical artifact, we'll say. I would pick the Time Turner that Hermione had in Harry Potter. I'd want to know a little bit more about the drawbacks of it. Does it actually... Do I age twice? So if I experience a day 2 times, do I age 2 days? Or does the magic still make it so I only age 1 day? I mean, that would literally be burning the candle at both ends. You're not really getting extra time. You're just burning it all. But yeah, that would be it. How can you keep up with your schedule? I mean, recording, rendering, editing, and uploading takes some time, and I think you're still working for your living. Like I said, 3 hours to record, let's say. 3.5 hours to record. You can find time to do that. I don't sleep as much as I should, so whatever. 3.5 hours to record. And like I've said, rendering does take time, but it's not time that I have to spend. It's time that has to pass, but I can be doing other things. So I can render. I can set it to render, and a lot of videos I can edit, and I do make mistakes doing this, and I do apologize when I do make those mistakes. I know some of you have experienced them. I try to make this audible noise that is visible when I look at the video. Like it shows the sound as it goes through, as it shows the video, and usually if I make that noise, it makes this big plateau in the video, and sometimes I don't see it, and I don't make the cut when I should. But for the most part, especially with the games I've been doing, that they don't require me to do a whole lot. I trim off the end, or the beginning, and I trim up the end just a little bit after I say bye, and I slap it in there. I change what the little Space Invader guy says, save it as, video number 1 more than the last one I did, and render it and walk away. I mean, it takes usually on most videos 5 minutes to edit, and then I hit render and I can walk away. I can do whatever I want. I can set up six videos if I wanted to, and just render them, walk away. It'll ding at me. I can come back, flip to the next one, render it, walk away. Set it up to do it while I'm sleeping. Set it up to do it while I'm taking a shower. Set it up to do it whenever, and it'll do its work while I'm gone. And uploading, actually, YouTube has this really nice thing where I can upload the video whenever I want, and then set the time for it when it will be released. So what I usually do is I record, so for what's going to be released Monday, I can record it Friday. I usually record the day before. So what I'm going to do Monday, I record Friday. What I'm going to do Tuesday, I record Monday. And then I have the rest of that day to get the editing done and find time to do 3 renders, to hit start on rendering 3 times, and when the rendering of one of them gets done, I can start uploading it immediately and walk away and just set it up and say release this at 7 a.m. As you may have noticed here recently, my videos come out 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m., 8 a.m. Central Time. So that's that. That's what it is. It's just it's not as much time as you think. Now, if I was doing this full time, I mean, if I could just not, if I could just say I'm going to do this 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day, whatever. Sometimes it feels like that, but it really isn't. And I'd be more than happy to do that. That'd be a dream come true. Since I was a kid, there were 2 things I wanted to be, and that was an astronaut, which is never going to happen because I'm too tall. I mentioned this in another video about, I don't even know if it's out yet. It's going to be a particle fleet video. I drank a bunch of Red Bull, and I went off on a little bit of a rant about how some people think that everybody should be treated the same, that they should be allowed the same opportunity as everyone else. And that's not how the world works. I'm 6'5" tall. If I'm wearing shoes of any kind, call it 6'6", or possibly 6'7" if I'm wearing like boots. I can never be a fighter pilot. I will not fit in the cockpit. I can never be an astronaut. They don't make spacesuits that fit someone my size. I can never be a tumbler in the Olympics or anything like that. I never could have been. I'm too tall. All gymnasts are short because of pendulums. The longer the pendulum, the slower it takes or the longer it takes to swing. But if you have a short pendulum, it swings faster. The longer one is slower. So when you're doing flips and cartwheels, you want to be short so you can flip through 9 of them in the amount of time it would take me to do 3. If that makes sense. I mean, there's things that I can't do because I'm not physically capable of doing it. And everybody has things that they can't do, that they shouldn't do, because they're just not built for it mentally or physically. I mean, I'm a monster. You probably can't tell from this, but if I'm huge. My wife comes up to my chin, and she's like she's dwarfed by me. Like her shoulders are like this wide on me. I'm a monstrous looking man. I would make a very good Chewbacca if I had the costume. I don't have $600 for the costume that I want, though, so I'll probably never get to go as Chewbacca, but I'm really big, and I don't think that some people should ever I don't even know how I got off on this now, but I think people have to understand there's a difference between being treated equally and, having equal rights is different from being treated equally, because people are not equal. I'm 6'5". I'm a monster, but I'll never be as big as Shaquille O'Neal, who's way bigger than me and would trump me in any basketball game I ever played, no matter how hard I tried, because he just has such a natural advantage that I don't have. That's what it is. I mean, I could possibly be a contortionist. I could do that, maybe, because I'm double jointed, like in every joint in my body. It's one of the hardest things for me in the Marine Corps, is that part of your physical fitness test is doing pull-ups, and when I would go to do my pull-ups, you have to come all the way down, and when I would do that, I'm 6'5", so I weigh at that time, what, 220, 230, and my shoulders would start coming out of socket because I'm just double jointed. My ligaments are loose. They're longer than they should be, so my body can bend in ways it shouldn't and do things it shouldn't, and my shoulders would start to come out of socket. So even when I was supposed to be down rest, at kind of the rest point, I couldn't rest. I had to still kind of flex and hold my shoulders in socket, and I would wear out faster than other people. I don't know if we can see this. Here's my arm. Here's where normal people's arms stop. Here's where mine stops. I can look like I broke my arm. I could be a contortionist. I'd make decent contortionist. Probably not great. But I'm also not as limber as I used to be, so probably not. But yeah, it's not as bad as... excuse me. It's not as bad as you think. You can do it if you work it out. I mean, I'd love to do this for a living. That would literally be... so like I said, I wanted to be an astronaut, and the other thing is I wanted to make video games or do something with video games. Review video games, in magazines. I used to read, EGM and, everything like that. And that never really worked out. But now I'm doing this, which is kind of like that. And I really enjoy it. And if I could make a living doing this, I totally would. Not really at that point. I don't know. I've considered making a Patreon. I've made a Patreon page. I just haven't let anybody know that it exists. I've considered turning on the whole support the creator thing that YouTube has, where you can make donations. But I don't know how I feel about that. I suppose I could turn it on and then people can decide themselves. And if I get something at all, that would just blow my mind. I mean, my mind's already blown that I have over 2,500 subscribers. At the time I'm making this, I've got, nearly... I have to look. We'll get an up-to-date thing. Almost 2,600. I'm 3 away from 2,600. Which blows my mind. Thank you, every one of you, for watching. Just watching. That's awesome. Now when somebody asks me, why do you do that? It's just why do you make YouTube videos? Because where I live, that's I've always kind of been the black sheep for where I grew up. Because I didn't have the same interests as other people. I can guarantee you there really wasn't another person in my school. Well, I take that back. There's maybe two people that I found out much later that had the same kind of interests as me, like role-playing games and video games as much as I did. And everybody else didn't. So I've always kind of been the black sheep. When it comes to school or whatever, the community that I live in, for the most part. So I still get people that are I still feel nervous to tell people that I know that I do YouTube videos. Because a lot of times they're like, really? That's a thing you can do? It's odd. So, yeah. I don't know. I've kind of run out of questions that are on here. Thank you, all of you. I guess just kind of wrap up. I'm going to look into making doing some streams. I'm going to try to find some times when I can do it and loosely schedule when that will be. I don't even know what I'll stream when I do it. Something that'll be exciting and fun to stream, I suppose. I don't know what that'll be. I am planning to do that. That's information that'll come once I know what it is. When I can figure out a time when I can do that without constant interruptions. 1, 2. I guess I've kind of just decided that I will go ahead and. You know what? No, I'm going to leave it up to you guys. All right. Thumbs up, thumbs down, like, dislike. If you're interested in possibly, I'm not holding anyone to anything, but possibly would be interested in me having a Patreon or doing YouTube, the YouTube, support the creator thing that YouTube does. If you're interested in me having that, you would be interested in using that, let me know. I mean, I would use the money, honestly, to continue doing this. I have to pay quite a bit more for my internet than I would like, especially because I wanted to make sure that if I had a problem, they would need to come and help fix that. And honestly, the easiest way to do that is to say you need it for business. So I've got like a business line, which is more expensive, but it also means that if I have a problem, it's not, well, we can get somebody out there Wednesday. It's, oh, I'm sorry, we'll be out there at 10 o'clock. You know, they're going to come right out. Anytime I've had a problem, they've just come right out and fixed it, which has happened. Because me not having internet means I can't do this. And it kind of means that much to me to be able to, that I pay that extra money. So, I mean, the money would basically go for that. And anything I need for the computer, I suppose. So, if you're interested, I guess thumbs up, thumbs down. Yes, no. I may do it anyway, just to, if somebody decides they want to. Bless you. Thanks. You know, that's awesome. I would be humbled. But that's about it. It'll be the schedule is still Particle Fleet Monday and Wednesday, Creeper World Tuesday, Dungeon Keeper Thursday, Stellaris Friday. I'm not saying it's going to stay that way. So when I get done with Stellaris, say I finish that playthrough, it may be anything else. It may be anything. This has gone on for over an hour. Wow, I did not realize time was passing. But when I get done with any of them, it may become something else. Dungeon Keeper is probably going to become Dungeon Keeper 2. Maybe not immediately. I may do something else in between. A little break so I don't get burned out on Dungeon Keeper. Not that, well, I won't get burned out on Dungeon Keeper, but I might get burned out on Dungeon Keeper 2 because it's not my favorite. It's good. It's more Dungeon Keeper, sort of, but it's not as good as Dungeon Keeper. In my mind, in my head, when I play it, I don't enjoy it as much. I could go on about that for another 30 minutes, but I'm not going to. I almost did. And, you know, Creeper World 3. When I get done with Creeper World 3, I'll, with the storyline, and we'll try to explore all the different kind of endings that you can get in Creeper World 3, because there are several. When I get to that, done with that, I don't know if I may do some of the user-made maps for it, but I might not too. I might not do very many. I might just do a few to kind of show people what is possibly out there. like maybe a couple play as creeper maps. I know those take forever. Those are really long. At least they are for me. I don't know. There's probably something I'm missing to get a better time than I do, but they tend to take me a long time. I'm not that great at them. So like, but I might show some of those maps and some of those things, just to kind of say, look at what all's out here. There's a lot. People have completely changed the game, flipped it on its head, and now you're the creeper and not the humans or whatever. There's is it the shadow ones, I think, where you're kind of like the creeper, but you also can build human things like cannons and stuff, or you can play against the creeper that also builds human things like cannons and stuff. There's a bunch there. There's a lot of things to look at, a lot of things to enjoy. There's stuff that's not even, well, it's probably user created, but it's included in the game and isn't on the colonial space part of the game. It's like in the alpha sector and stuff like that. So I don't know what it's going to become. I know in one of these games that I'm going to get a preview for, when they do finally come out, I'm going to definitely play those, and that may take over for a short time as I show that off, because it'll be something new and exciting and fun for me, and hopefully fun for you guys. And I'm working on finding more games like that. I've got those two that I mentioned, Oxygen Not Included and The Long Journey Home. Or The Long Journey? Is it Long Journey or Long Journey Home? See, I've forgotten already. The Long Journey Home. So, if you guys know of any indie games like that maybe I've overlooked or missed that kind of fall into that same kind of thing, I really like sci-fi. I do like fantasy as well. So if you guys know of anything that's like the games I play, that I've been playing recently, maybe like Oxygen Not Included or The Long Journey Home, suggest them, and I'll see if I can get in touch with the developers, which is all it really takes. So sometimes. Not always. Sometimes they're just like, yeah, you're not cool enough, ShadeOfDead. You're just not cool enough, buddy. Nah, we're only going to give a few of these out, and you ain't one of them. But, never hurts to ask. I'm going to shut up, because this is getting really long. And I don't want it to be an hour and a half. We're already well over an hour, so thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. This is me, ShadeOfDead, and I'll see you guys all later. Bye.